I think what Chaps and Chappets, Game Chap and Bertie here.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, fellows, and I would say here we have some rather interesting news pertaining to a possible and quite large performance boost of sorts, coming soon perhaps to Minecraft, you know.
Yes, indeed, a Mojang dev has been working on and released some pictures of something very important indeed to most Minecraft players, and that is, of course, as you say, the performance.
Yes.
So this is all about a possible performance boost, a big boost that he has been working on.
That's right indeed. Now, although it wasn't immediately clear what was going on, we have taken a closer look and we have attempted to decipher what seems to be happening here.
We most certainly have. You see, in the first screenshot, we see the current version of Minecraft, and in the second one, we see the new version with the added experimental changes.
That's right, of course. In that first screenshot, the current dev version, and in the second one there, the upgrade or updated version with the changes. Now, firstly, you can see the FPS in the second screenshot has increased by quite a large factor, but the dev actually drew our attention away from the FPS and said we should focus instead on the value after the C, which is the number of chunks the game is currently rendering.
Most certainly. Now, you might have thought, well, FPS was really important. That was the most key thing. But he said, no. Look at this figure instead. So as you can see, it's rendering far fewer chunks in the second screenshot. And consequently, looking underground, a huge area of the underground world has not been rendered in the new version.
Well, indeed, of course. Now, this is perhaps a method of saving performance power. And perhaps as a result of this, the FPS appears to have increased quite significantly. And there will be less load on the computer because it has less to render. Now, the reason for that is, of course, because all those underground chunks, which you can't normally see in the second screenshot, they aren't actually being rendered. So they're still there, but because they're out of your sight, they're not actually being processed or crunched by the computer, as it were.
Indeed, however, there's a big catch with this method.
Is there?
Well, if the underground parts of the world aren't rendered, then if a player looks into a cave system, etc., they may see nothing but blue if that particular chunk has not been rendered by the game to increase performance.
Yes, that's right. So a special code is needed, which causes the game to render only the underground areas that are actually needed. In other words, only the areas that could potentially be seen by a player at the current point in the game. So if you look down underground and you'll see just blue, that's no good. So in other words, it has to render those bits, but not the unneeded ones.
Indeed. Now, perhaps there's a way to do this. If the Mojang dev can pull this little trick off, then we could be seeing a big bump in performance for computers, especially slower ones, because the game has much less to render. Even our main computer, which is one of the most powerful you can buy in the whole, universe, powered by hamsters, of course.
It's the hamsters that do it, old chap.
Yes. Well, even our main computer, you see, it's been suffering a bit lately in the most recent snapshots.
It has, old boy.
Yes, yeah.
But I dare say, fellows, it all comes down really to whether or not the new code can be put into the game without causing a lot of drain on the system as a result of the game needing to decide which underground parts to actually show. But in any case, there you go, fellows. They are working on it, and if things go to plan, we could see a big performance boost, which no doubt many players would be grateful for, but no promises yet at this early stage.
Most certainly, but we do know that they are working on it. So if you can get less chunks to render underground, you can increase performance. And if when the player looks underground, he sees the things that should be there, then the job's done.
That's right, of course, and it sounds simple, old boy, but in coding many things aren't simple. We'll have to see whether or not they can do this, but I dare say it's quite exciting, you know.
It most certainly is, because we'll need lots of rendering power for all those little gerbils crawling everywhere.
Oh, shut up, man, for goodness sake. There's no gerbils, that never will be, old boy.
What?
Goodness sakes. My word, there we are, fellows. Thank you for having joined us in this Game Jam and Buddy, a news update bulletin of sorts. I'm going to go to see you once more in the next exciting Andy Goodness Fair. Until then...
There we are!